Hello achievers, welcome back to Smart Credit Bites. I'm your host Sangeeta Sharma. Before we start today's episode, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. We release a new episode every week on the real and unglamorous truth about building businesses. Let me ask you something and please be honest. Do you have your resume updated or are you still checking job posting occasionally? Or maybe you are telling yourself that you are keeping all options open? Now this Let me tell you what it actually means. You are running your business with one foot out the door, and that is the half commitment, and it's killing everything you are trying to build. This is not about any side hustles. I have seen full time entrepreneurs do this. People who quit their jobs, work 60 hours a week, but mentally they are still hedging, still keeping escape routes open. And here's what a decade of watching businesses has taught me. The moment you give yourself a backup plan, you almost guarantee yourself, you tell yourself that you actually need it. Sounds backward, right? But please stay with me. So here's what's fascinating. Most people think that they are fully committed to their businesses. They really do. Trust me. They have registered the company, they have business card, they are working nights and weekends. They tell people at parties, I run my own businesses. But watch what they actually do. They price low enough that they never have to risk that losing a client. They take on projects that are not quite actually right because they need the money. They don't invest in marketing because what if it doesn't work? They keep their businesses small enough that if it fails, it maybe it won't hurt too much. Now that's not called commitment. That is hedging. Now, real commitments actually look different. It's uncomfortable, it's a bit scary because when you are truly committed, you are making decisions that could actually fail in a big way. Let me tell you about Rajesh. He ran a consulting business for 4 years. He had maybe, I think, 8 to 10 clients at any time, made decent money. I will not say great, but decent. He told everyone he was an entrepreneur. But you know what? He also had a fully updated resume on LinkedIn. Yes, and it said open to opportunity, open to work. And he checked job postings every few weeks. He kept his certification, his learning current, just in case if he needed it. Now, his business obviously reflected it. He never said no to the wrong client because he might need them, right? He he even never raised his prices because he thought if he raised it, then maybe his client would say no and they would approach someone, maybe his competitor. Now, he never turned down even small projects, even when they paid him like terribly. Because what if the pipeline he had, if it dried up? And for 4 years, he ran in the same way and stuck in the exact same place. Then something shifted. He got offered a really good, I think, corporate job, yeah, in MNC, 6 figures, great benefits, and he realized he had been waiting for this since ages, and the permission to stop pretending. And you know what he did? He took the job, and he was relieved because he was never actually committed to the businesses. He would committed to the idea of maybe having a business if it worked out without too much risk. Now, here's the thing about commitment. You feel it in your body. Real commitment has a weight to it. And it's the feeling of I'm doing this. And if it does not work, I will figure it out, right? But I'm not spending energy on backup plans. Most people, they never feel that. They feel the lighter version that I'm trying this while keeping my options open version. And the market can tell. Customers can feel that hesitation. They sense it in your pricing, in how you can talk about your services, in your energy. They can feel that. Commitment is not just a mental state, it's a signal you are broadcasting constantly to your customers, to your client, to people around you. Trust me. Now let's talk about something that sounds completely backwards, but it's absolutely true. Having a backup plan makes you just you are likely to fail. Okay, I know. Everything you have been taught says be smart, have a safety net, don't put all your eggs in one basket. But when it comes to building a business, that advice is just it serves like a poison. Here's why. Every hour you spend maintaining your backup hour plan is an hour you are not spending on your primary plan, that is your business. Just think about it. If you are keeping your resume updated, obviously you are using a mental energy, right? You are telling your mind constantly that I have second option, right? If you are staying marketable in your old field, that's effort, right? If you are keeping your options open, you are literally dividing your focus. But it's deeper than the time management. Backup plan affects your decision making. They make you risk averse in moments when you should be bold enough to do your business. Let's take an example. Okay, you need 50,000 in marketing, right, to break through to the next level to grow your business. With a backup plan, you think that, oh, what if it does not work? No, no, I can't afford to lose that money. So you don't do that marketing. Now, without a backup plan, you think, I need to do this, right? This is my path forward. How do I make sure this investment pays off? And the energy is completely different. When you have a backup plan, you think, no, no, I need to save. But when you don't have a backup plan, you really think that I make to need this and to do any cost, right? Both have different energy, and trust me, the result of both, the outcome of both is completely different. The backup plan paradox is this, that the safety net you think is protecting you is actually preventing you from climbing high enough to need it in the first place, right? Now, I'm not saying that be reckless. I'm not saying just quit your job tomorrow with no savings and no plan. Please, that's completely stupid. I'm saying once you have made the decision to build that business, truly made it, then remaining backup plan is actually self-sabotage. There's a time for planning and preparation, but once you are in it, you need to be all in it. Trust me. And because here's the brutal truth, the market rewards commitment, not partial effort, not trying while keeping options open, the full commitment, right? Okay, let me show you where this plays out in way you might not recognize it. First is your pricing. When you are committed, you price for what if they say no, right? Instead of what is actually your service worth of, what is actually your product worth of. You leave the money on the table because you can't afford to lose the client. And that is not called any strategy. That's the fear of losing the client. Second is your marketing. If you are half committed, you you do passive marketing. You post occasionally, you put yourself out there, but not that much. You are scared of looking desperate or being too visible, so you prefer to stay invisible, wonder why nobody finds it, right? Number third, your boundaries. You take calls at 9 p.m., you work weekends without charging extra, you say yes to scope creep. Now, why do you do this? Because it's if you are too demanding, they might leave. And you can't afford that because you are not fully committed to building something that can be sustainable. You are just committed to not failing right now. True? Now, number four is your quality standard. You deliver good enough because great takes more time and you need to move fast, right, to make money. But good enough does not build a reputation that lets you raise price or be selective. True? And now next and the last is your decision speed. You overthink everything. Should I hire this person? Should I invest in this tool? Or should I turn down that client? People who are fully committed, they make faster decisions because they are very clear out that where they are going. Half committed people, they agonize because every decision feel like it would be one that breaks them, it would be one extra expense, right? Now here's the pattern. Half commitment makes you optimize for not losing instead of optimizing for winning. And you cannot build a thriving business while playing defense, right? Now I see this especially with people who have kept their day jobs temporary for 3 years, or people who say they are building a business but spend most of their time on low value tasks that feel busy but don't move the needle, right? It shows up how they talk about their business. They say, I'm trying to, instead of I'm building a business. They say, I'm hoping to get, instead of saying, I'm going to do this, right? Now, language reveals the mindset, and mindset determines what will be the outcome. The question is not whether you are working hard. Half committed people actually work incredibly hard. The question is, are you working like someone who has to make this work, or someone who's testing whether this might work or maybe not? Now, those are completely different energies and they create the complete different result. There's an old story I remember, probably not historical accurate, but the principle is sound. A commander would land his army on enemy source and then he burned his boat. No retreat, no escape, only moving forward. Extreme, yes. Effective, absolutely. Because when there is no way going back, you fight differently, you think differently, you find solution you would not have found if you had an escape route. Right now, I'm not literally suggesting you burn anything, or but there is a moment in every successful business where the founder has their burning boats moment, right? It's the moment they decide that is it. No backup plan, no safety net. I'm making this work. I'm making this work at any cost. For some, it's like quitting their day jobs. For others, it's turning down a job offer. For some, it's like investing their savings they can't afford to lose. For others, it's finally charging what they are worth and losing half of their clients. The specific does not matter. What matters is the internal shift from I'm trying this to this is actually happening. And here's what I have observed, that shift usually does not happen because you feel ready. It happens because something forces your hand. Maybe a crisis, a deadline, a moment where you can't keep half committing anymore. Now the question is, why wait for that moment to be forced on you, right? Why not choose it? I'm not saying maybe it's easy. Giving up your safety net is terrifying. Our entire nervous system is fear wired to avoid that feeling. But here's what else is terrifying: getting to year five of your business and realizing you are an you are exactly in the same place as you were on the year one, because you were never fully committed. The burning boat moments is not about recklessness. It's about the honesty. It's saying, I'm doing this thing really, doing it, not testing it, not trying it, just doing it. And then making every decision from that place. What work do you differently in your business today? If you if going back was not an option for you, if this had to work, that's not a hypothetical question. Trust me, that's the question that separates businesses that survive from the businesses that actually thrive. So here where we will land, we have two choices, not 10, just two. Choice one: commit fully, burn the boat, close the escape routes, make this business the thing you are building, not the thing you are trying. Yes, I know it's scary. Yes, you might fail, but if you are going to fail because you went for it, not because you actually played it safe. And then you have choice number two: just get out. And I mean, really get out. Admit this, that this is not the right time or the right business for you. Close it down, take that corporate job, stop the half commitment that's draining your energy and giving you nothing. And there's no shame in that. Seriously. Now, knowing what you don't want is a valuable information, right? I know the middle ground feels safe, but it's actually the riskiest place to be, right? Because you're not growing, because you are investing your time, energy, and money into something you are not actually fully committed to. You are aging, opportunities are passing, and you are not building anything real. That's what I want you to do right now. Honestly, please answer this. Am I fully committed to this business, or am I hedging my bets? Now, if you are hedging, then why? What are you afraid of? And is that fear actually worth another year of your life stuck in just that same place? You don't need any permission to commit. You don't need a shine from the universe. You just need to decide, either make this business your real focus or make something else your real focus. But please stop living in between. Look, I know this episode might have made you some uncomfortable, but good. That something landed, right? Your business does not need more tactics. It does not need another course or maybe another framework. It needs you to decide fully, completely with no backup plan. Now, if this episode resonated with you, do me a favor, share this episode with one founder who needs to hear it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Smart Kid Bites. We are building a community of people who want the truth about business, not just some highlight reel. Please drop a comment or DM me on social media. Let me know, are you fully committed or are you hedging? I read every single message and reply to them. Thanks for listening, Achievers. Until next time, commit or quit. But stop pretending that you can do both. This is Sangeeta Sharma signing off from Smart Kid Bites. Thank you.